Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Penguin Academy highlight reel. This is round 4 of the KBBBL team tournament for spring 26. And we've picked 3 matches that were about placements. The first 2 matches, the teams ended up in 2nd and 6th place, or 2nd table and 6th table. I don't know what it was. And the 3rd match was to decide the winner, I believe. I hope it was anyway, because I think I've picked correctly. So starting off, we have the admin, as you can tell by his team name, AKindSir, or just Kind as I'll be calling him, and his vampires. Versus Vice and his Dark Elves. Hey, Kind. That's an interesting setup you're using. Can't help but notice the incredible similarity to certain other setups that we see. I still like it even with the 6 vampire build. I don't really like the 6 vampire build, but I know, right now. But I use it for a reason, so, and I don't care if people like copy my stuff, right? If they agree with my reasoning, why wouldn't they? So in case people are wondering, this is my vampire setup. I do set up aggressively on the aggro line. Yes, it does open me to a quick snap, but because vampires are not actually that fast, right? Only the runners are fast. The rest are average. The extra square to me matters, and sometimes people will set up like aggressively to try and get the quick snap, or even get the quick snap and move forward, and the back players can just move around them then. Because what you actually want to do, the problem is I tend to use this with a kicker, and Kind doesn't have a kick, so he's just hoping for a deep kick, right? Whereas I can always make it a deep kick, because I play the 5 vampire build with a kicker where that blitzer is. So I always deep kick, and then I want my players behind his LOS, behind his team, because he's going backwards and then coming forwards again. It forces him to do things. Reverse the chevron to protect the leader. This leader is kind of semi-protected. I don't think the Dark Elves will be going for him. It's too much of a commitment, right? He has to block these, run an assist round, run another assist round, and then tag this guy and then blitz him. Like, if honestly, if he wants to do that, even if he kills my leader, I'm probably going to turn him over very soon, because half his team is now standing here. It's one of the good points of vampires, right? The strength 4 against other strength 3 teams requires so much commitment to take blocks on them or blitzes on them that it pulls players out of their defensive shapes, defending the ball. So he does get the quick snap, but doesn't actually quick snap onto him to take the block, just quick snaps over here. So that, like, this is what I mean, right? This is the problem, right? If this was a deep kick, this would be very different. Because to get this block, he has to put someone there. So this is a block, and then this guy goes over there, and that's a block, and 2 of his players are now on the very right-hand side of the pitch. And unless this is a POW, a full POW, this isn't a 2-dice block. He has to then put another person over here for an assist if he gets the double down. So now we've got these 3 and these 3 all on the right side of the pitch, and I normally have kicked over here. So the kick exaggerates the effect of the setup. I'm not saying don't do it if you don't have kick, because, you know, you still have a chance of a deep kick or whatever, and it's still better than basic bitch. Like, it still forces your opponents to make choices. But this kick has unfortunately removed a lot of the efficacy of this setup, especially combined with a quick snap. It's kind of annoying. Great reroll burn on the first turn. Doesn't get a POW either, so now suddenly this is different, isn't it? Now he needs a POW for this to be something, and that is a 1 in 9 block. And there we go, he runs backwards. So Kind will have the chance, and unfortunately for Kind, he gets the POW. And a removal. Obviously, you don't take the 1 in 9 block first. I mean, the problem is it's greed, right? He took the 1 in 9 block to open up this and then this. But against vampires, you can't really afford to be greedy. He should have just taken this block here first and blitz this one. And look, this is exactly like the strength of a setup like this. To get these blocks over here, look, he's done exactly what I've said. He's pulled 7 of his players to the right-hand side, leaving not enough players defending the left, meaning completely free movement into the backfield, forcing the Dark Elves to bring him the ball next turn. Like, it forces that. So it's like, even though he got a removal and he's going to take 2 more blocks, like, it's worked, right? He's going to be able to run players into the backfield. He can't freely hide the ball anymore, so he has to bring the ball down. And when the ball is in range, he has to constantly worry about protecting the ball. Any small mistake in positioning can be exposed by the vampires, and the ball can get sacked. So it just stops your opponent from being able to just stand here for like 3 turns. Oh, that was quite the weird-ass choice. So if I'm Kind here, what do? I probably leave this frenzy piece where it is. I blitz him with the block blitzer, and then I move this thrower up the pitch in range. What I do after that, I'm not 1,000,000% certain. I blitz him and come back, because I don't want free movement down the pitch. And I don't want the runners, like, targeted. And then I probably just dodge him. He could have chosen instead to blitz here and block here and just run these players around the back, which does the same thing and means he doesn't have to dodge. I wouldn't have hated that either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And then come in to Hypno or something, standing the 2 strength 4s together. The problem is that if you blitz with this one over here instead of the leader, what happens is you can't cover here. So I probably would have just blockless blitzed with the leader and then taken a blockless block and run these 2 down the pitch. But, you know, that doesn't mean that what I would do is correct, because it's at that point it's just kind of a choice. Mine's unsafe, right? But leaves a better defensive shape. This is too far down. Okay, no, I wouldn't do this. I get it. This is too greedy. The problem is he just used a blitzer to Hypno, right? Which is a 3+ bloodlust, instead of just using a runner. If he'd used the runner to Hypno, he also would have had a runner in scoring range. Whereas using the blitzer increases the chance that you have to bite one of your own thralls, which increases the chance of attrition, and doesn't give you a scoring threat. Does get the KO, and he eats the KO, which I'll be honest with you, was incredibly surprising. I wouldn't have eaten that KO. Yeah, see, and not only that, but did a dodge for no reason, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could have just gone there. You've gone one square by adding a 1 in 36. For no, like, it's not enough to offset the risk. And like I said, this would already be there, and the frenzy blitzer would have been in a better spot because he was already in the center, and he threatens surfing on this side of the pitch, which is where all the things are, and he's strength 4. So if he hypnoed with her, you wouldn't need to have moved the frenzy at all, and therefore you wouldn't need to have a bit with the thrower. You could have just not bothered. And hypno in from here. Obviously, he would have bitten if he wouldn't have bitten if he hadn't bloodlusted. He would have just gone there and taken a 2 dice block. But continuing the plan afterwards, because you got to know you're going to bloodlust. The problem is now it's too easy to surf this thrall, isn't it? You just step someone in, you step someone there, you take a block, and then you surf it. And the runner comes up to there, and these come back to form a wall and a cage. And you've lost another thrall off the pitch. Oh my days. I mean, again, look how good that would be. But you shouldn't really be standing in Chunt's column anyway, right? Surfed himself. Nope, surfed them both. Mutually assured destruction. And now, if we'd done what I said and left the blitzer in place, you could have surfed him. And there'd be 3 Dark Elves off the pitch. This seems like we're going to go for the ball, which I don't know why. Well, we're not, apparently. Cast his own thrall. As a badly hurt, I would probably have appoed that. I always tried to appo the first badly hurt. Doesn't get the witch. Oh, and has dodged instead. See? Because he knows that it's important to have the frenzy when they push into one side. So that's what I mean, right? It would already have been there. Would have been a better blitz to surf him. But the Dark Elves don't really know what they're doing, do they? Lots of players don't really know what to do against vampires. The correct answer, by the way, would have been to quick score. The best thing to do, in my opinion, if you don't have damage causing capability, so basically if you're elves, is either to make sure the vampires don't come down the pitch to you and you hang back for a late score, or turn it into a shootout. everything vampires do causes attrition of something, thralls or rerolls. If you turn it into a shootout, 2 turns are hard to do with vampires without using a reroll. And then you 2 turn back, and then they 2 turn. And every single time they use a reroll, they bite a thrall. They start losing, you know, their bag of tricks. So turning into a shootout, if your elves, favors you. So obviously we hypno. One of the things that people don't understand is, like, you can't dump off if you're hypnoed. You can't just rely on dump off, right? Because he hasn't got it now. Okay. Frees up a blitzer. You can red dice him into a 2D here. Could have red diced him onto him. An odd choice. What? No. Okay, well that's... No. I wouldn't have done that. It needed a hypno. But we're relying on the strength 4. Okay, so we're just relying on using an eye cage. This is called an eye cage. Where you either are high strength and stand between 2 players, or you stand between 2 players with guard. Okay, he doesn't get murdered. Well, this guy just refuses to be... Hypno? Oh, God. He's snaked. Would you have done something else there? Probably. You can't really complain too much. I think you don't really want to score that turn anyway. It feels like he was obviously going to score, right? It feels like giving the Dark Elves a 2-turn gives them a very good possibility of laying them off. So I think you should have just done the same strategy again and stayed in a eye cage. The problem here is you follow. No reason to follow there at all. So obviously it's incredibly unfortunate to have not only failed both of those hypnos and the 30% power to then snake the dodge. Like, it's crazy bad dice. But at this point right here, you're only risk, right? The risk is you don't score, you don't get the glorious victory. Could just stand there still. Like, as crazy as it sounds, because he's based, he could just stand there and then move the other vampires down to cover these people coming around the back. Because this got stunned. So we've only got these 3 players. You need one to tag, one to go here to make that a 2 dice, and then that's an assist, and you can get a 1D on the ball. Like, that's not, like, great. And a 1D on the ball that you then have to pick up and then make safe from the vampires who can just take it back off you and score anyway. So I think he should have just stayed there, or just, not organized the turn that way. I think he should have decided to stay and stall again. It's like, you can. The problem is, it's easy to say, I've seen the snake, right? So it's easy to have that affect your judgment, because you can't take that out of your brain. But I wouldn't want to score on turn 6, right? It just gives. Oh, she's not even turn. It would have given him a 3 turn. Oh god, yeah, that's worse. I thought it was turn 6 for the vampires. It was turn 5. Yeah, I absolutely wouldn't have scored then. So it makes me feel a bit better about having seen the snake and then saying I wouldn't have done it. You know, 1 in 9 surf. Yeah. Burning a reroll on it. And then pows anyway. Doesn't get an armor break. Last reroll. Just stands there. Okay. So Kind only has 1 reroll. So this guy should have moved before. I wouldn't even have hypnoed him, because if you bite him, you need him down here, right? To hypno. Do you gonna hypno this guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you're gonna hypno this guy. Or do you hypno this guy? No. It's what. So you got 2 choices. You can hypno this guy, allowing the thrall to come round, because then he can just block, or hypno, whichever one you want to do. I would block. Because then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because he needs a thrall down here, because sack the ball, you need to activate vampires. To score, you need to activate vampires. You need a thrall down here. This one would have eaten the standing guy. This guy. That's the guy you need down here. So this guy should have come down so that he can bite him on the block. And then this one hypnos this guy to free up the thrall. We need a thrall to bite down in the action. What are we doing there? Well, that was really rubbish. Really rubbish. That was game, like, winning, keeping the ball. Keeping the ball on him was game winning. So at no point should we have rolled dice with no rerolls with him. Let them off the hook is what's happened. Six, seven, eight, nine. Probably just do a rush to hypno him. I don't have the urge to do crazy stuff, so I mean, the problem is it's not crazy stuff. It's just wrong. Yeah, that's different. Like I talk about that all the time, like with my rush of blood to the peen jokes. Those are different circumstances. That's normally when your opponent has made a mistake or had really bad dice, and suddenly it looks like you can win for really basic dice, and you just immediately roll the really basic dice and they fail. Like that's the bad part, right? People do that shit all the time. I really don't understand what that was about. That's the guy who needs to pick up the ball. Let him dump off. He has no rerolls. 3+2+ can fail. Like, if you get the POW there, what's happening? Like that's my question, right? Like even if the hypno had worked and he gets the POW, what are you doing? Where's the success state of that POW? The Dark Elves can't score, so just hitting him is not worth it. So everything should have been success state oriented. Like, how do I score? You can't get to the ball. And if you thought the the hypno was worth it, you should have just done the rush. You're doing a dodge to blitz the ball anyway, until he finishes works like a... Yeah, so, but it's one or the other, isn't it? You either go all in to get him down, so you maximize the chances of getting him down, which involves doing the 2+ rush to get the 2+ hypno. Or you maximize the chances of scoring from just getting a POW. He eats that too? I'll be honest with you, it's pretty crazy eating those KOs on turn 8. Casual 6+? Doesn't happen. What a shame. 30%. Wait, it's not 6+, is it? For elves and vampires, it's 5+. So, at this point, the vampires should be 1-0 up. Only the witch didn't come back. So the vampires have a choice. My choice would be to Daka for the win, rather than do what almost everyone seems to do with vampires. And you don't need to do it. Almost everyone with vampires quick scores. Because vampires are better on defense. Which is both true and pointless, because most other teams are better on offense. So it's kind of a shoulder shrug, isn't it? 2 out of 3 KOs back, 0 out of 2 KOs back kind of sucks. 10v10. So, I don't hate, by the way, just quick scoring. It's not like it's bad. It's just not necessary. Yeah, but if he's going to quick score, it's probably coming back. That doesn't even make the quick score more difficult. What a weird, solid defense that is. I hate not moving a thrall up first. What if one of these rolled a 1? Wrong square. Probably not going to surf from with the witch, but you could have just stood there, right? You can't get surfed then. Casual snake. Rerolled. I don't know if you had to reroll there. Not gonna lie. And 1 in 216. We just stand in that square and don't bite. Yeah, well done. This is the problem, isn't it? Like, we've just cast him. So our Apo is now gone, so anything we do here... Oh, he is going to surf. No, he's not. Did burn a reroll as well, but that is a armor break, so that's annoying. Casual failure. What are we doing? Okay. We are surfing the runner, except we're not, because we've rolled another power. No surfs for anyone. Doesn't snake. Bangs it in. Little messy, but it worked. Does get the KOs back, so it's 11 v 11. So at this point now, the Dark Elves are playing for a draw, and the Vampires are playing for a win, which is fine. The problem is the Vampires should have won already. So that's probably weighing the Vampires down. You know, weighing kind down. It's always annoying to sit there and be annoyed at yourself that you aren't currently winning. The same thing, like that is just bad, right? That is just objectively bad. There's no reason to have both witches here. The one witch could have been where that guy is and could have blocked back. But problem with setting it up like he has is exactly that. He has to now take a blockless block with the ball on the floor, which is really atrocious. Wait, did he get a reroll on the kickoff? Ugh, of course he did. Wasted a reroll trying to greed surf. Gets it back immediately. And kind is very, very light on rerolls. Okay, well, he gets rid of his free reroll. So you have to pick your moment when you're running low on rerolls as vampires. You have to pick your moment more carefully. And by that, I mean, if there's a turn, like obviously now he's built a wall, right? So that's fine. But when this defensive shape breaks up, if there's a turn where you think you can get the ball, but it's early enough, like say on turn 13, you think you can get to the ball, and your first action is a 1, your first, like, Bloodlust, or which you would have to re-roll, or your first Hypno is a failure, you just abandon the plan, usually. Unless it's an incredible opportunity for just that 2+ or something. But in general, you just abandon the plan because you'll have another shot the next turn. You're vampires. With only 2 rerolls, you need it to start well. You can't just keep going because that was the plan. Wait, what? Were we trying to surf and then got worried that we were going to get counter-surfed? Couldn't work that out before you took the blitz? And we lose a thrall, the one that could have dodged, just quietly. There's a snake at disaster. Nope, doesn't happen. Full pow. Not a removal, so... Another reroll. Okay, we're down to 1 reroll for the Dark Elves. What? We're doing a Frenzy Trap block? No. No. Oh, we're not. We're just standing there. Okay. So this is one of the turns where you could go for the ball, right? It's really not that hard. You hypno here. Because if you block, you need a POW. You hypno the ball to stop a dump off. You hypno this Dark Elf here. And then you blitz upwards. That would be my plan. If you really like the plan, you can move this thrall to here. So you have someone to bite to guarantee that one there. And then move this thrall so that you have someone to bite to hypno here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hello, Vice. Oh, yeah, this is not about... This wasn't... I mean, there have been turns where you could have positioned better. This isn't about your position in this turn. This is about the fact that you've left dice on the ball from an angle that's a real problem. Essentially, if he gets a POW, you've left her as a 50-50, right? If it scatters up, you lose. So what you should have done, because it's turn 12 this turn, is that ball should have been here. Because he doesn't always have dice on the ball. He has dice on the ball if he can reach the ball. So on a turn where it looks unsafe because things have gone wrong, the ball goes out of reach. And then you bring it back the turn after and make a better shape. That was... I mean, it worked, but it was stupid. What the hell was that? Why did we do that? We did a 3+ with the Blitzer into was that a 5+? And then we dodged to Hypno this one. Why did we need the Wrestle Witch? Any of these? 2, 4+, yeah, sorry. Why did we need any of that to be the case? Like, I don't understand what's happening in this plan. This was the right plan, the Hypno, and then should have Hypnoed here, and then we Blitz. And then we've got a Vampire and another Vampire, because obviously you can Hypno one of the tackle zones away if it does go upwards. Okay, we were doing all of that to just Blitz from this way. So, I mean, so what's happened here is what happens. Like, this is not a bad player thing, right? Two different things are happening here. One is you think of a plan and then you stop thinking of better plans. That's one of the things that's happening here. Like, you found a plan, I need to do this, and I can sack the ball. And then just didn't think, is there any better plans? And the other thing that's happening is people forget that thralls can blitz on a vampire team. You don't have to do everything with the vampires. Like, thralls are perfectly capable of rolling a 2-dice block. Yes, like I said, it's tunnel vision. People come up with a plan, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's a good plan. I can sack the ball," and then they stop thinking. It's like, no, what you've done is you've got a plan. Now, look around to see if there's a better plan. Why did we? Why did we push that way? There's a blitzer there. Why didn't we push that way? Scattering from there avoids this blitzer. And again, this is why are we? This guy was there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He could have gone there and formed a screen for a 2+. Then you roll the dice to get the ball, which should have been over here because this guy should have been knocked to here. And then this guy can dodge to come round and defend the ball carrier. You could have ended up with, again, a winning position for a little bit of positive state thinking. Because this is just, hey, would you like to take the ball back, please, sir? And Vice says, yes, thank you. I would like to take the ball back. And the removal is very handy. And it's early enough in the drive. That's the thing, isn't it? It's early enough in the drive that this was basically a minor inconvenience. Because we didn't do enough positive state thinking and end up in a position that was more difficult for the Dark Elves to both get the ball back and make the ball safe. And now, you got one less vampire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Hypno. Block with him to create the gap and come in here and blitz again. Okay, I'm not entirely certain why we've taken that block. Or why... we're doing that. And then we snake. I mean, a snake would have happened at some point anyway, but this seemed like a lot of wasted actions. And that is probably the draw. Ooh, maybe not. Okay. Now, Vice. By the way, that should have been the end of the drive, in case anyone cares, because there was a free reroll involved. So that should have been the end of the drive, and they should have lost. That doesn't do a great deal, but it's not the worst. It's mostly about how the vampires solve the problem you set out. So this vampire hypnos, obviously. It's who do you hypno? You probably hypno him because you've got someone to bite. So the vampire hypnos him. That frees up him to come out on a 2+ and hypno him. But then how do you blitz? And who do you blitz with? So maybe you don't do that. Maybe you hypno him and then he hypnos him and you just go for 4 dice on the ball and hope one of them's a POW. I don't mind that. That seems like it's a reasonable option. Oh, we were hypnoing him? That bites him, unfortunately. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a rush and a 3+ type. Like you've just explained why I wouldn't have done that. Because if you fail, you got nothing. I get the thinking, like if you hypno him and you get the POW here, you also have this vampire to do something. But like, it's not like you got a scoring threat or anything, is it? That vampire's not going to pick up the ball and throw to her or anything. So you can just as easily, if you get the POW, pick up on the blitzer and still have it on a strength 4 guy. Does get the POW. Didn't burn a reroll on any of these extra dice. Because he would have had to, because he's got no thralls. Because he bit that one. Okay. don't hate trying the 4+ through. It's fine. It's just this is a pretty easy 1D. Like, it's free. It's not even pretty easy, is it? It's just free. This is a rush. Oh, no, it's not. I couldn't count. I was like, This does have dodge, but you can't really get a second assist in, so you'd have to dodge to there and then go for the 1D into 1D for the surf. Which, sure, I mean, at that point, it's not much of a difference, is it? Oh, we are doing this. We're going for a block with the lino. We went for the dodges through, and then I guess we try to pick up on the witch. It's a good scatter. There's a lot of dice with no 1 there. Well, that all worked out delightfully. Chains. Gets a Kaz of the chain, and now can do a... Wait, was that necessary? Oh, come on. I mean, so the problem is... That's the third, like, critical snake for just the vampires. But what was the point of this? Was it to just remove a 1 in 9? But you don't have him to react, and if he bites, he has to go and bite this last thrall and can't do it anyway. I think I would have rather left him and just done the 1 in 9. I don't think you could have done much about that. Or maybe you could have done with the positioning. You certainly couldn't have moved the witch, who had to stay there. So maybe giving the chain was the positioning error. I didn't see. I'd have to go back and look. It was nice to find on Kind's part. One of the things that I think I would criticize on the vampires part is a lot of extra dice being rolled. It felt like way too many dice were being rolled quite often. Like just random extra stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I wouldn't have done the GFI with the witch. That's the thing. You don't have a reroll, so that's why I wouldn't have done it. That entire turn was done with no reroll. Yeah. This is too annoying to do, I think. So there's a lot of dice to be rolled, but you could... Oh, the stun is really obnoxious. You could get... 2 dice on the ball. You just have to reduce the jump as best you can. So hypno him. And then 1 dice, maybe? Is it worth doing a 3+? Probably not, but this is a 2+2+ to hypno him, and then hypno him. What guy just moved there? Oh, this guy just... Oh, sorry, I pressed pause at the wrong point. Oh, the thrall. The thrall moved there, okay. It wasn't worth it anyway, so... I'd probably roll a bunch of the dice with these to try and hypno my way into a 3+ jump. And just give up if I remove the thrall. So we hypno him. We have to hypno him, obviously. So if we hypno him, if we make the jump, there's no dodge. And then we hypno him with this one. And then 2+ to hypno him. And then we do a 3-2-2 dice. What did we just do? Okay, well we should be hypnoing with him first. So again, these are weird dice. And this is the bloodlust. No, that's the jump over. Yeah, but it wasn't. It was the wrong dice. This one should have gone next. Because it's a 2+ bloodlust, a 2+ dodge, and a 2+ hypno. And then this one should have gone there because you can ignore the bloodlust. You can bite him. You were hypnoing... Oh, well, that's wrong, isn't it? You hypno this one, and then you hypno this one, because there's a thrall to bite. Like, if he rolls a bloodlust, you come round the corner and you hypno him and bite him. And then you just go for the jump because he can't do it. But if he doesn't bloodlust, it's a 2+ hypno after a 2+ dodge, and he can get over there and hypno him and can ignore his 3+ bloodlust. And that gives you a 3+ jump. Which you wouldn't have made because you won in 9. Interesting game. Plenty of stuff to talk about. I might have been a bit critical because I really like playing vampires and I'm sad that they've gone. Even with all of the mistakes, sorry, Vice, I think Kind can feel aggrieved. He would have probably won without those 3 critical snakes. Almost certainly, really. Whereas the vampires, the Dark Elves had no critical failures at all, really. But equally, Kind could probably still have won even with the snakes with better play. It's fine to receive. It's not the worst to receive and try to bang out a couple of thralls. The problem is what you're planning on doing for the drive, and then you didn't defend the start of the drive correctly. you basically fell into the trap of the incredibly genius setup from the vampires that Kind definitely made up by himself and pulled all of your players to one side, allowing vampires into the backfield that forced you to bring the ball up to them. Like, you just played the vampires game and then just got lucky. But yes, you probably should have kicked. You probably should have kicked. And forced the vampires to roll some dice on what will likely have been their inevitable 2-turn. I would probably have 2-turned against Dark Elves, by the way. Thinking about it. I don't really like doing a Dacker against a fast mobile team. In the second half, I wouldn't. If it's turn 1, I would quick score and get back on defense and try to turn him over. But if I've stopped the score and it's 0-0, I probably would have Dackered for the win. No, it's not. It's not usual to have all of your rerolls after a 2-turn. That's why people put vampires on offense. Because they don't come with sure hands. They don't come with catch. It's hard to get a thrall up to bite for the score if you get in the way well enough. They have to roll some hypnos and stuff like that. Like, it's not usual to have all of your rerolls after 2-turning unless you badly defend or they just roll well. Normally you lose a reroll, which is an important resource. Next up, grab your butt cheeks, Hype. It's you. We have JDWhitee and his Wood Elves versus Hype and his Wood Elves. So Hype wins the toss and decides to kick. In a Wood Elf mirror, I'd probably receive, but it's not a particular lean in. I think trying to get the damage in first is usually better. Have we got identical teams here? Tackle and strip, tackle and strip. Wrestle and wrestle. Oh, no, wait. We've got 2 wrestles. Where's that other skill? Oh, you received. Sorry, Hype. My bad. There was no names up and it confused me at the start. It always does. Okay, so Hype did receive. What am I missing? Oh, there's 3 dodge. Hype has 3 dodge and a wrestle, whereas JD has 2 wrestle and 2 dodge. You have 2 dodge? What? No, you have 3 dodge. There we go. Alright, so already there's a crazy problem, isn't there? This is a terrible setup. I don't even know what this setup is, by the way. It's pretty rubbish. Doesn't defend the blitz on the left-hand side for no reason at all, really. This one could be on the LOS, this one could be on the outside, and this one could be 1 over, and we have the full chevrons across the pitch. And defended. This should be chevron the other way. I don't really like this. You're exposing a catcher anyway, so covering this catcher does nothing. I prefer to be on the LOS when I'm Elves, because it covers the very short kick blitz even better, and you can always dodge away as Elves anyway. So, yeah, really, I would say it's like a B defense. It does like, you know, defend a lot of the pitch, but it's for no reason weak at the sides. Legitimately no reason. All right. Lucky Kaz straight off the bat. I'm sure JD was super happy with that. Full power on the dodger. Into a stun. More JD happiness. And then powed the tree. Okay, so really good start there. And the tree 1 in 9s immediately. We get a pow on the catcher. And not exactly a straight death. And just a rearranging. So the problem with the defensive strategy here is you just lost a player, right? And you just immediately just play passive, which allows Hype to just keep the ball on his thrower, take another blitz on anyone he wants, move his players around. You just trade in blitzes. You're not doing anything. You're not forcing any dice. So it's incredibly passive. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not how I would like to play this. The problem with passivity is it comes down to who rolls better. And I absolutely don't want to be in a competition for who rolls better. I preferred him. So, as you had the option to come through the middle here, I would have dropped him back behind the tree and kept him more central. Because I would be worried about the fact that the left-hand side is weak. And he can run players round, forcing me to... If there's 2 players in the backfield, I have to move the ball. So I would have dropped him central and fortified the left-hand side. The tackle's over here, so you shouldn't be too worried about the dancer on this side. So this shitty defense on the left-hand side should be considerably better. That's fair. This one is the Apo, though. Oof. Okay. And again, the passivity. Could throw a wrestler in the backfield, because then if you protect your dancer with the catcher, or even with the leader or whatever, he's not blitzing the wrestler in the backfield. Like, we should send someone down. We can't allow this to just carry on. That obviously, what you normally want to do in Blood Bowl is have your opponent play your game, not the game plan that they already want to do. Like, they've shown up with a game plan usually. I mean, let's pretend that's true. At the very least, they've formulated a game plan on the spot. And you don't want them to just be able to do what they want. You want them to play your game. You want to poke holes in their game plan. You want to give them problems to solve every single turn that you can. More problems equals more mistakes, equals more likely that they either burn rerolls or it goes wrong and you win. Just standing around, trading blitzes, not really a game plan. Just hoping one of you rolls better than the other. And now we've taken another removal. And the ball is still completely and utterly safe and unhassled. Oh, what a surprise. We've worked out now that we're running out of players that we should probably have... run someone down the pitch. 1 in 9 because we blitzed a wrestler. That's basically the law. Nothing you can do about that. And now what's happened is we've immediately exposed the problem with the holding the ball back plan is you now have to roll dice. There is nothing you can do here. This is a 3% to lose. That you have to roll dice. There's no chance that what you're doing is walking here and running an entire cage back this deep in your half so that on turn 5 you're starting from here. That sucks. So what we're almost certainly going to do is roll dice. Either going to throw a pass, hand off to the dancer. We're going to do something that involves dice rolling. Which is why JD should have done this sooner. So looking at this, we're going to hand off to the dancer. What? I don't know what was... Hello, Jim. Hello, people watching Jim. Hope you're still enjoying the High Elves on Fumble. And that doesn't make you greedy. That's not greedy. You just, like, if you have to blitz someone and there's no blitz for position, which there wasn't really, right? Then you pick the amazing target. That's not what a greed blitz is. It wasn't. It was fine. As you say, if you hurt his dancer, it's great, right? Because it's the strip. It's absolutely like a good target for the blitz. You can't really cover that failure state. That's kind of what I was talking about. The only way to cover the failure state is to make what happens next much worse. Ideally, what you should have done is already had the ball on the dancer. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't part of a defensive shape or anything. You should have been out of range of any of his players, like here or something, and already given the ball to him. So for those at home, this is the correct way to do a Vengabus. The strip is on this side, so the ball is in the back of the bus, despite being on a very white character. There's no way to sneak in the back of the bus, really, with this guy. He's too far away. You might notice that I'm about to shout at JD for taking a dodge when he hasn't moved any of these three players. I doubt they're all rolling dice. Gets his own Kaz. As it turns out, they weren't all rolling dice. What is this wrestler doing? Standing somewhere he could already have stood. He just could have stood there, right? No reason. Or there. Risked a 1 in 9 loner block, leaving his wrestler down here. Good stun. Wait, we just stay in here? Okay. Okay, so now we have the problem that the Venga bus is wrong. The driver is at the front of the bus. There's no conductor at the back of the bus to cover the dancer. So currently this is a 1 dice strip, because all you have to do is stand here and here, which he can reach. So now the Venga bus is incorrect. So that should be JD's play. You stand someone here, you stand this guy here, and you come round the corner and you leap to here and 1 dice. Or you just greedily bits the dancer and don't take advantage of the fact that the Venga bus is shit. That's another way to go. It's not about which one's better, it's about which one's more likely. Removing the dancers less than 10%. And that's including KOs. Kazin, even an armor 7 piece, is like 3%. So you're giving up a, what is this, 75% 3+ to get the ball on the ground? which with a lucky scatter could be game winning. To try and get a 3% Kaz on a dancer. Can push the tree into the cage with this block. Change it to there. Doesn't really do anything. Doesn't base the ball or anything. These have all have dodge, so they'll all just dodge away from the tree. Not like it's maple. Could have changed a second time with a push. As you say, still just 1 in 36s, right? Yes, the center is now easy to go back to. And would have been even better if the tree had stood up. Is that a... Oh, it's a seriously hurt. I think we have to try and Apo that. We do, and it fails. That's miserable for JD. Good old dancers and their hidden mighty blow. So we do have a comedy Vengabus at the moment, which has sort of crashed because the driver's asleep. Should have stood here. This catcher should have stood here, right? So this isn't, you know, an incredible defense. Obviously, you just blitz him and go around the side. It's how many players you can get round the side. Actually, yeah, you still do that. Could go back this way, couldn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 11, 10, 9. Don't really want to cut the corner with the ball carrier. Can we get a safer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone would have to cut the corner, which is kind of scary. What are we doing this way? One, 2, 3, 4. We need the assist there, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this dodge piece goes there. But then how many players can get around to form a cage here? Might be better to form a cage over here. Just more 1 in 36s. Okay, we're going down the side. You get a POW, which is very handy. So we're going to do a regular X cage in Chunt's column. Feels like we are. Don't 1 in 36. And now we roll some dice. Ooh, okay. So now this is just a straight up. So this is the problem of where it's ended you up, right? If he gets the strip now, there's the chance it goes in the crowd which is usually game losing. So this is just not where you wanted to be. It almost was better to just roll a couple extra 2+s and have this cage won over, to be honest. That actually doesn't change anything because he can just strip from here to there. And it's still the same problem. Yeah, but you say forces like that makes a difference. What difference does that make? It made you feel better. I mean, that is a difference, right? Yeah, it makes no real difference, does it? And he fails the 75%. Which, again, unfortunate. I would absolutely here have been greedy and surfed the body of this dancer. I think it's legitimately wild that we didn't do that. Because this is a catcher, it's all 3 dice blocks. So for 1 in 27... into 1 in 27 risk, I would have surfed the dancer. You just blitz from above, for those at home. Blitz from above, chain the body down there, and stand your dancer on the sideline. And then that block chains him off. And then that block also surfs the catcher. I would absolutely have done that with no Apo in play and having done 2 Kaz already. That's definitely something you should do. That's a weird place to put that dancer, man. So I don't like the tree being on the outside here. Problem with the tree being on the outside is that you're going to use this side to blitz. You're not pushing it. You don't want to push him this way, do you? And have to dodge through the tackle zones. You want him to go that way. So the tree would be better off over here. Well, we've discovered a problem. It's not an unsolvable problem. We've got another wrestler right there to come round and blitz into the hole. This does still kind of work, right? He can take a block forward. It does still kind of work. Right, so hang on. If you look at this now, so the tree blocks to there. He blocks up. You need this square filled, right? So this dancer should now leap into this square. I think. Hey, there we go. So far, so good. Delightful. Did you just try and spoil that while we were watching it, Hype? What the fuck? Yeah, and you got one turned on because you put the tree in the wrong place. So they could have been there to laugh at you. So interestingly, what I don't know is what the state of play was in the tournament at the time this game was played. And whether or not JD needed a win or could have played for the draw. Reina was losing. And we just saw your game. And so you could have won. That doesn't track. If Reina was losing, Kind was winning for most of that game. So if they were being played roughly the same time, a draw would have drawn the whole round. Yeah, I wasn't using the whole method, Nalo. Oh, you didn't. They didn't play at the same time, so you knew that Kind and Vice ended the way that it did, and Reina had lost. Oh, okay, then no, that's not the case. Okay. Yes. As he should have been. So if Reina had lost and you had won, then yeah, this match needed a decider. Okay, that does make it more interesting. I still think, by the way, that if I'm... Three, six. It's 9v. It's in 9v9. It's 9v9. I don't think the DACA does much here. The issue that I've got if I'm JD here is that this is just a KO. And mine isn't coming back. So, yeah. I probably do just dick about with the ball for a bit. And if things start to turn, try a breakaway. I don't think I would quick score because of that KO. If this was a Kaz, I'd probably quick score, guarantee the draw and play for the win. Oh, well, now I'm looking forward to it. After trying to spoil turn 8, now he's made up for it, made us all look forward to turn 16. No removals. And what does the tree do here? Rolls a bow. That's all we're looking for. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And closer. So now the ball does have to come up immediately. I mean, really, the ball, he's just going to go there and hand off to the dancer, right? Okay, now I definitely try to break away and score. Not even a question in my mind. Now I just lost another player. All of these go over there into scoring range. No. I don't do this at all. I especially don't do it without putting the conductor in the bus, right? The ball is in the back of the bus, away from the strip, but you can just leap to there. That just makes you a bad gambler, Hype. See, would have made a leap. Would have made a leap and a 1 dice pow. I'm going to pretend the arrow was a 4. So JD guarantees the draw. At this point, as we said, Reina is almost certainly lost because apparently that game was horrendous. And Kind should have won. So essentially now, despite Hype saying otherwise, Hype should play for the win if they wanted to play for the tournament win or to be higher. Playing for the draw here just means that both teams should draw. Yeah, to place higher. Pride. Makes it even less point in playing for the draw, right? If you're just playing for pride anyway, play for the win. Get some practice in. There's no... how? Kind could have won that game all the way up until like turn 14 or something. It just can't be true. I mean, he should be playing for the win now anyway. Four Kaz? He should be playing for the win. I mean, we blitz this guy. We run up the pitch. We put a catcher in range. And we hand off and score. They can, yeah. Obviously. The 10 woodies can do an effective stop of a 2-turn. And even if they do a 2-turn, you get a 2-turn back. This is all about just whether or not they leave a sack on the ball, right? That's all that matters here is whether or not there's a regular leap sack left. Can he reach? Who can reach around the back? Anyone? This catcher? So this is Hype's tree, right? So we need to move the tree. So it needs to be a POW on the tree. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then he goes 1 in 9, 1 in 9, leap, sack. I mean, you have to try it. You can't just stand around at this point. I don't think you can stop him scoring if you just stand around. I would probably try it this turn. You're playing for the win, right? So you're just free rolling at this point because Hype clearly isn't playing for the win himself. He's playing for the draw. So free rolling, just give it a go. I mean, I don't mind if you wait another turn. Maybe he leaves a similar sack on the ball. It's not, but that's not a crazy low. How many rerolls has JD got? 2. So that is the problem is you need the POW, right? That's the only difference. The tree needs the POW. So you wait to see if the tree rolls the POW. If the tree doesn't roll the POW, you just wait until next turn. Blitz this front guy. That's it. This isn't the way. Wait, did we not blitz at all? I just realized, did we not blitz at all there? Did JD just move everyone backwards? That was the blitz? Okay, well, that was rubbish, wasn't it? If you're just going to passively screen, this guy can just dodge to there, and then you blitz with the dancer and stand there, and you've already got your screen in place. Why have you moved back? The crazy blitz. Hoping for a 5+. All right, what shape are we going to build? Feels like, is this going to be the same? You got to put someone in here, right? Okay, that's okay. Okay. You hear, Muppet. Bad, removing a player. It'll help. The exposed player being the strip dancer is pretty shitty, though. Oh, we're going back this way. Ow again, very handy. No armor break, handy for JD. Let's see the shape he ends up in. He's got enough players to make this a proper shape. Oh, this is not going to be right. And snaked. Catcher needed to defend this square. We've still got the ball in the wrong square. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is annoying to get around there, but that seems like the best way to do that. So double rush to get there, and then we just one dice strip. There should always a Venga bus is not good enough if you can reach this square. It actually makes no difference. You'd be better off if you just made an H cage than the Venga bus. H cages are just objectively better. Also, it wouldn't have needed a rush because you'd have all been one square over. So, wrong cage. Oh, we're not doing it. Oh, JD, man. Why? Red dice. Oh, good Lord, you lucker dog. That's definitely not right. So with those dice, if you're going to get the luck of a red dice, then you absolutely could have got the one dice, which would likely have left you better reaction to where the ball was. Okay, how do you solve this? Let's have a look. What's the best way to solve this? I mean, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Obviously, you just get the ball to him. So we utilize him as an assist. We take the block. And then we just we can wrestle him once we've blocked him. And then we just pick up the ball and hand it to him. How on earth do you screw that up? There's like, if you don't get any kind of power or double down. Yeah, you did. And why are we dodging him? That's also wrong. This guy doesn't have dodge. And is a rush away. Yeah, that was terrible. Well, there we go. That was a bit of a mess. But it did allow me to talk a lot about like how to arrange a Vengabus. For those of you who don't know what an H cage, by the way, is exactly what it sounds like. 3 players instead of an X cage. It's 3, 3, and the ball in the middle because it makes the leap horrendous. So a H cage would have been considerably better there than a bad Vengabus. The problem with that is normally that people do it unthinkingly. right? They have stuff stuck in their head. Like a Vengabus is good against a leap or a cage dive or whatever. And so they just keep doing it, even though regularly it's not the correct play. Like for a Vengabus without a driver, if you can reach that side, is literally no different than a regular X cage. So you've wasted a player is all that happens there. And if you have 6 people for the cage, just make an H cage against the leap sack. It's horrible. The leap is horrendous. It's into 5 tackle zones. Right, I have got a third game to do. However, I'm going to go and find out if enough people are playing Call of Duty for me to join them. And if they are, then I will stitch on the third game to the video. I'll just act like I've done it straight away. I'll leave this in as well, just so you know that I've done that. And I'll just combine the 2 videos before I upload it to YouTube. So give me a second and I'll find out. A Vengabus is an extended X cage. So hang on. So an X cage is just bang, 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 bang with a ball in the middle, right? A YouTube cage, we call it, because people have watched YouTube to know how to build a cage. And then they got obsessed with just building a cage, even when there's no need to sometimes. A Vengabus extends the cage 1 square. So there's 2 squares between the corners. But not always, just across. And then there's the ball and someone else in the middle. But what we talk about, so the direction the Vengabus faces is whether or not there's a driver or a conductor or both. So the driver's at the front of the bus, obviously. That's the side of the cage that's facing the guy who can dodge in or leap in. And then the conductor's at the other side. Wherever the ball is either at the front of the cage, the front of the bus, or the back of the bus. And the square that needs protected by the driver or the conductor is where the ball is. So it's this square. So if the ball is there and his mate is there, you need to protect this square, because otherwise the mate's not helping when they leap in. The mate is only covering these 4 squares. So you need a driver or a conductor, otherwise it's no different than a regular cage. It is actually, that's not true, is it? It's sometimes different than a regular cage if you are on a team that has some guard. So if you have 1 guard, it can just be on one of these back 2 corners. And that covers that square with guard then. So this guy covers these 4 squares and guard covers this square. But obviously elves don't come with guard, so I'll leave that in the VOD as well. Right, give me a sec. I'm going to find out if people are playing Call of Duty. Waiting for Muppet to give me an answer. If he doesn't, I'll just do the third game now. Okay, Muppet's eating. So I'll do the third game now. So, without any spoilers, did this game decide who won the tournament or not? Or this round? So this was definitely table 1. Okay, so this round decided who won the tournament. And I'm going to give some spoilers, because there's no way they would have known when playing this game, right? Until late in the thing. The other two games that I'm not going to watch were a draw. So this actual game decided the tournament, but they wouldn't have known that at the time. I don't know which one of them finished first, etc. When team tournaments happen and everyone's playing together, things can change. So we have BB Nut and his Flings, and Mudarra and his Wood Elves. Yeah, I've heard that about Nut Ajax. Right, thank you, Kind. So Nut's team needed to win because Mudarra's team was ahead. I will say again that Mudarra's team is the replacement team for my team, which is quite funny. So we have Wood Elves into Flings, which isn't actually as bad as it sounds, right? Annoyingly, obviously, Elves are pretty notoriously good against stunty teams. However, stunty teams usually need to dice someone. If their opponent's half decent, you need to dice someone. And the best way to dice someone is if they happen to be armor 7. So thank you, Woodies, for bringing armor 7 to the pitch. We have Puggy, which is a bit crap, and Zug. So the reason we have Puggy and Zug is because Kind decided to crap on stunties and give them less money. Otherwise, this would be Grombrindal and Zug, I would suspect. I don't know how much Grombrindal is. How much is Grombrindal? Nobody, 220 or 210. And Puggy's like 100 and something low. I don't remember. So I guess it's pretty hard to fit in Grombrindal. I'm not seeing a leader, by the way. Oh, we are. So I'm stupid. I'm blind. Oh, right. Look at that. It's literally hidden by being the color of that guy. So we are seeing a leader. So it's one reroll and leader, which is okay. Hello, JD. I just did your game. You missed it. I will try not to be too harsh on that, by the way. I am pretty notorious for being harsh on people playing my favorite teams. Especially Halflings. Because I really don't like anyone, not Nut. I really don't like anyone bringing one of my favorite teams, i.e. Halflings, and then using the fact that stunties are shit as an excuse for playing badly. I really don't like anyone. That is also true, Sliker, yes. Who got the caution? Oh. The Woody's got a reroll back. All right. Crappy first block is crappy. Not even dead. Basically a dice in. JD's not American. And I'd probably argue with the other word too. Alright, so we do get a removal with the foul. So far, that was totally fine. As far as turn ordering, I thought it was okay. Choices, totally fine. Weird to run all the way over there. I also don't really understand why that wasn't 3 dice, right? We got the wrestler and the catcher right here. Why wasn't that 3 dice? There's no frenzy here. So the catcher could have just gone there. The wrestler could have gone there. And that's like just 3 dice block. People get lazy when they see stunties. I have heard that JD's a top, which is surprising if any of you have seen him. Uses his crushing blow, gets a removal, not bad. Not a massive fan of these two just chilling. I guess he was going to foul maybe if he didn't get a removal. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I doubt this guy was going across to foul, so they should have moved first. This is a loner. But only a tiny bit lazy. I've seen worse. I don't like this. And I don't like this. I don't like just like hanging flings out for an easy 3 dice block. They're so easy to remove. At least give them the benefit of only having 2Ds. Like these should just be in the cage, right? So it's hard to get 3 dice on them. And there's absolutely no point in this dodge at all. I hope it dies. So we do have an immediate sack on the ball here, but it doesn't look like we're going to take it. We do have it because, I mean, we do have 2 rerolls, right? So a 75% 2 dice on the ball is not something to sneeze at. But instead, oh wait, we're just basing up. I thought we were going to 3 dice him. Okay, full base time. Herping and a derping. So far, it's fine. Don't like rolling these blocks without where the... like, where's the ball going? We don't seem to have a plan for where the ball's going. Oh. Okay, so the ball is just going on the ground when he sacks it. Yeah. So there's a weakness in it. Like, up until there were no problems to solve, I thought the turn ordering was decent. I thought the choices were good. And the second there were problems to solve, that was just a total unthinking mess. There doesn't seem to be any thought there in what the hell we're going to do with the ball. Because I don't actually know what we're going to do with the ball here. Based on the way that it was all set up, I would probably have dodged the ball. If I go back to the start, if I get stuck like this as Flings, I'll be honest with you, I'd probably dodge the ball because it seems like it's the only way that I could possibly make the ball safe. Like, sometimes you just have to do that. It feels like the only place the ball can be safe is in this square here. We can blitz with Zug to knock him down, hopefully to actually knock him down. Tree can move over. He can go in for a 2-dice block to leave the top of the cage free. And then the ball moves over here, and then these two come in here. If that's a knockdown, he can block him with Puggy's assist, and the ball is there. It feels like that's kind of the only way that was going to work. I don't think you can get the ball safe by blitzing the dancer off, because unless you roll a POW, there's no way to put the ball. Oh, yes, there is. Is there? So if Puggy rolls nothing and then stays there, the ball moves there. Yeah, the ball moves there. No, that doesn't work either. I take that back. It's hard to... I mean, you can do it. The ball moves there and the tree moves over one. Because that's the bad square, obviously. So the tree moves over, the ball moves there. Puggy is standing here with this tree. And then this guy blocks off. And then you got to make a dodge with one other fling. Yeah, that's okay. I've seen worse. He did fail his only dodge, but he'd roll a bunch of blocks down here first. Yeah, see, this was the mistake, wasn't it? This was the mistake. I mean, it's also really far down here. Like, it's... Why is he all the way down there? You only need to be there to be an assist. Not getting the POW in that 3-dice sucks, but even if you get the POW, I still don't know where the ball goes. Like, if you kill that player, I don't know where the ball goes. And then doing a 1-in-9 dodge with the ball not anywhere is probably unforgivable. Thank you very much, Oz. I appreciate it. Wait, who else was on Nut's team? Ajax and someone called Blitzy. So what we're saying here, Ajax, is essentially Nut lost it all for you. Because I don't see how he gets this back now. With that really, really bad turn, you can completely blame Nut for anything that happens in this game and the result of the tournament. I've given you permission as the arbiter of Blood Bowl. Yes, I gave everyone else the right to call you a twink. Is that not what you meant? Wow. It's a bit homophobic, Flute. I mean, I wouldn't call it a superpower. It's just a regular power. Wait, what the hell? Was that a... I'm sorry. Did we not dodge? Did we not blitz this turn? We haven't blitzed, right? That's a block. That's not the blitz that take root. We dodged the ball. Well, that was absolutely atrocious. What the point? How? Why? That was so bad that I lost the ability to speak English. Why would you dodge the ball there? The one thing that can hand the ball back to the Flings and save the game for them is if you do something stupid like dodge the ball and snake. And instead, we do a dodge double rush blitz with this guy. 50 kinds of rubbish. Okay. Going for a little bit of damage. Made the loner reroll and failed another 3 dice. Okay. I'm a massive fan of Puggy going backwards like that. Like, Puggy can dodge in and 1 dice the ball. You never know. You could roll a 6. Wait, what's happening? We're throwing the stunned one. Well, that's pretty great. Maybe that should have been the first thing you did and not the last thing you did. Giving him a 1 in 6 chance. Never mind, rolled a 3. Would have been great if he'd rolled a 1, wouldn't it? Nobody gets any KOs back. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it might sound good that the elves are down to critical elf, but the halflings are down to just being halflings, which is real rubbish. Why did we just blitz with a wrestler? Man, some of these decisions are just bizarre. Why would you blitz with a wrestler there? All right, well, This looks like you can, in fact, make 2 dice on the ball, right? It's a bunch of 3s, but it's definitely 2 dice on the ball. 1, 3, 3, 3. Someone stands there, and then Puggy goes for the ball. Before you do that, you can throw a fling. See if you expose the ball in any way, or hit it again. Wait, why are we throwing that one? Okay, this tree's a menace. This is what it's going to be like playing stunties in 3rd season, by the way, with a bunch of fucking bullseye trees and trolls running around the place. I said 2020, didn't I? I'm old. 2025. Here we go. Come on, Puggy. Full pow immediately. Look at it. Little chubby bastard. He's loving it. He even eats the Woody's last reroll. Incredible. And then Mudarra just lucks out with a 3+ anyway. Disgraceful. He does look exact. Sadly, Muppet, the halflings, I'm pretty convinced while we're watching these, that guy does his glute workouts. I'm pretty convinced, we won't get it confirmed by Cyanide, but I'm pretty convinced the halflings were a last-minute push-up. That's why we had a season with halflings and goblins at the same time. And that's why every season after that, everything's wrong. Like, none of the seasons after that have been correct. The halflings never showed up with Rumbelow, even though Rumbelow was in the images used to advertise the halflings. We still don't have Rumbelow. Never showed up with Deep Root. Still don't have Deep Root. And then every team after that, because I'm convinced that the halflings were pushed up 3 months, was pushed up 3 months. So that's why they're all wrong. That's why the Elves are about, like, 75% of the size they should be and look like they could fit in a dwarf's pocket. No, he was just in the image for it. They advertised the event using a picture of Rumbelow and then never made Rumbelow. Yes, Rumbelow is the business. I mean, I'd take Grom Brindal instead of him if I could afford him. But in 2025, Grom Brindal is basically dead. So we're back to Rumbelow again. Thank you for the follow. Who was it? Laughing John. Thank you for the follow. Communist Moogle? What is up with these names? Also, did you just follow because you heard me say the other person who follows name and you wanted me to say Communist Moogle? It's a pretty odd turn, wasn't it? But I've seen it happen before, right? It was perfectly fine. You throw the ball. If it doesn't get in range, you run back. It's fine. Hello, Goliath.
Say my name, say my name. Prank BB.
Say my name, say my name. Let's try again. Hey! 1 in 9 into death. Just actual death. The actual injuries that they use weird me out. Dislocated shoulder is... Oops, hang on. Dislocated shoulder is death. Like, why did they come up with dislocated shoulder? This is the last deciding match of the KBBL team tournament, and it's been decided. Yes, there is no known cure for dislocated shoulder. You are just forever, as a human, 33% weaker. Aw, thank you very much, Goliath. Welcome back to the Penguin Academy, Jimothy. Yeah, I couldn't just do only you guys games.
Oi fucking love Koala and oi fucking love Didgeridoo and I fucking love Mad Max Fury Road and Shrimp and Great White Sharks and wearing sandals. Forever better than Netflix.
Ah, thank you very much, JMC. The best part is nobody will hear any of this in the YouTube video. It will all be muted by YouTube system. Didn't even roll a 6. What an absolute dicing. So as it turns out, yes, this was lost on the singular turn. I'll try to say this as less mean as possible, but it does seem to have been lost on the singular turn that Nut had a basic stunty problem to solve, i.e., what to do when someone bases you. There we go. And on that result, Mudarra and his team of, oh god, I have to say the name, Painkiller. It was it Painkiller Blades or something else that I used to see when I was 12 on Call of Duty. And I've forgotten his name. Let me look up the other guy. Kraken. Thank you, kind, yeah. Kraken. They win the KBBBL inaugural team tournament. I don't know who came second. Because, oh, hang on. I do have the rankings. That's a lie. It was Vice, Flute, and Hype. There we go. With Chicken Chaser, Von Roo, and Duncan R coming third. Jim, you'd be happy to know that the winning team was in fact called the Fantastic Replacements because they replaced us. So we can put it down as like a win in spirit. Oh, is he? Hang on. Someone raided the wrong Artemis Black. I've just noticed because I'm in the wrong channel. One of my tabs is in Artemis _Black. Why would you randomly add an underscore? It was Famia. Famia just randomly made up that my channel is Artemis _Black. And Famia is Uncle _Famia. It's like, oh, everyone just uses an underscore, right? No, they don't. There's no one there, surprisingly. Right, there we go. I did say apologies I wasn't in this tournament. It was very well run. Everyone seems like a bunch of decent people. We could have had a laugh. Everyone blamed Jim. And congratulations to the winners. The reason I haven't just said goodbye is because I wanted to say the one thing that I was impressed the most by was considering that quite a lot of these players are Americans. I was therefore doubly impressed by everyone's attitude towards me casting their games. A genuine shout out to everyone who didn't clutch their pearls at someone saying they did something wrong in a video game. So, and I like, it's not, again, as I mentioned, I kind of went out of my way to try and mention, but I'll say it again at the end. While this standard is, lower than top level play, it's not lower than some of the players, and I don't mean like one or two of the players in the World Championship at all. Like, and it's higher than like 80% of Blood Bowl. Like, this is still like where people win things at this level. People just, people have put some time in to learn, but don't have 40 hours a week to learn that much more. And I don't hate doing this level for Penguin Academy because people do things right and they do things wrong. And you get to talk about both. It wasn't like it was all just horrendous. You can't really do Penguin Academy on like a bronze ladder game from Blood Bowl 3 because it's just absolute nonsense. Like, you don't see them doing Vengabus cages, even though like I had to go at hype for making the Vengabus cage wrong and it should have been a H cage and stuff like that. That is something that I don't get to talk about in worse players' games because they wouldn't have ever done a Vengabus cage. The ball would probably just been standing out in the open while they rolled 1Ds with their Rat Auger. Like, there's no learning from that. So, well done to everyone involved. Well done to Kind for running it. And hopefully there's another one. And I'll cover that too. And hopefully people on YouTube enjoyed these very, very long highlight reels. Rather than me putting up the individual matches. Just thought it was easier than putting up 9 videos, or actually 12 videos. Like I said, if I ever do a coverage of a tournament like this again, I'll ask the people involved, and we'll see if we can get some actual highlights as well. Like, see if people can make some clips and send them to me. See if anyone does a one-turn, either badly or correctly. See if anyone does, like, a cool chain push play, or see if anyone makes a screen for the ball and leaves 3 squares between the players. Like, who the hell would ever do that? But until then, hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you in whatever's next. I think there's more Super League games to come. Still haven't finished that. So we will see you there. Bye-bye.